Boom. Peace and love, tribe. I'm gonna try to make this video short and simple. I swear, I promise I'm gonna try to make it short this time, y'all. I'm gonna try not to drag it out. I just want to share another story with y'all, a quick story time from my addiction days. That's it. Peace and love, though. Welcome back to another episode of the Go With The Flow Show. I am your host, Flow Like Water. All right. Y'all are now multi-dimensionally tuned in once again to another exclusive, eccentric, and electric broadcast, aka Godcast, because this is not the average podcast. You feel me? I just got done doing some push-ups. You feel me? I just got done swinging too over there on the swings. Y'all can't see them. It's dark. Y'all can barely see them, but yeah, it's been a minute since I did that. It kind of felt good. You know, trying to got to keep that inner child alive. But anyway, so story time. So I know the story I told y'all in my very last video. I wasn't high on that particular day. But the story I'm about to tell y'all, this day I was high. I'm pretty sure I was high. And I was walking, me and my homegirl, the same homegirl whose house I was visiting. I was telling y'all about in my last video. I was with this homegirl, right, and we was walking. We was walking back to her house. And on the way, I'm pretty sure all my meth users out there can relate. You know, other people's trash, we turn treasure. We make treasure. We can make treasure out of other people's trash. You feel me? So we have found a few things on the side of the road. And one of the items that we found was the little, I don't know what you call them, but you put your shoes in them. You hang it up on like your door to your bedroom. And this little I don't know what you would call them, little pockets, the pockets in them where you put your shoes at. You feel me? You hang it up on your bedroom door. So we found that, right? So when we got back to her house, there were some other people there that was visiting. They was getting high too, whole time, which is why dude had. Well, I'm gonna get there. It's building up. So we had decided to give the items away that we found to the people that was to the other, people that was there. It was this couple actually. It was this dude and his girlfriend. You feel me? And we was like, yeah, we ultimately figured that there was nothing we could do with them. So, we was like, okay, maybe they would, maybe they can figure out something to do with them. So we decided to give them to them, the little items that we found. So, but before, like it was me. We was all sitting in. Well, it was me, my homegirl, and the guy. Was sitting in her living room, and we was actually, not exchanging, but we was actually, handing over the little thing, whatever you want to call it, to put the shoes in. We was handing it over to him. And I was like, hold on, wait. Because I forgot to check the little pockets. You feel me? And, I was going to check them in, whatever, to see if anybody left anything in there, because, I would have hated for, dude to find something good in the pockets when we the one that found the damn, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, hold on, wait, let me check the little pockets first. See if, because we, finders keepers type shit. We the one that found it. So, whatever valuable that might have been in the pockets rightfully belonged to the ones who found that motherfucker. So, so right away, right as I was finna say, hold on, wait, let me, let me look in the pockets first, like right away, before he even stopped and waited to see actually what I was trying to do, he fucking like lashed out and just, he fucking lashed out. You feel me? And he just fucking lost it. And he didn't fucking like lunge out and try to attack me or nothing like that, but he fucking flipped out. He went batshit. And this is one of those times where, just like the last time I was telling y'all about, this is one of them times where my practices, that I have been engaging in this whole time, my spiritual practices, meditation, breath work, you know, connecting with nature, being grounded and anchored in my breath. This is one of those times where all of that paid off, because mind y'all, I was high too. So I could have fucking flipped out and you know, I could have let his energy, it could have went a whole nother way. Let me make a long story short. It could have went, like, we could have actually ended up getting into a really violent physical altercation. Because dude wanted to hurt me, y'all. Dude wanted to hurt me. He was one of those. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, yeah, I was doing dope at the time, but I'm still a chosen one. And you know what I'm saying, dude, you know, my light, you know, my light, you know, it got to him. It irritated him. My light irritated his demons. You feel me? So he wanted to, you know, physically harm me. And I know it was like a test to see if I would, you know, lash out and get in fight or flight mode too. Because, you know, like I was telling y'all the other day on my last video, you know, people who do drugs like that, you know, and even without the drugs, even in the equation, people is in a perpetual state of fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? So he fucking overreacted. That's pretty much what he did. He overreacted. I just wanted to check the little pockets to see if it was anything in them before I gave it to him. You know what I'm saying? He probably sensed it, and that made him fucking mad. But either way, bro, ultimately, you know, the deeper, you know, what lied deeper beneath the surface was that my light just irritated him. You feel me? So you know, y'all know chosen ones, for the chosen ones out there, y'all know, bro, any little thing that you do and say, it fucking get under people's skin. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even got to do nothing. Your fucking presence alone by itself, just your presence, irritate motherfuckers demons. You feel me? So look at that spider. So dude flipped out or whatever. And I know he was hoping that I was gonna flip out and lose my fucking shit too, you know, and try to lunge out of him so it could give him a reason to try to hurt me. You feel me? I stayed calm. I stayed cool. Now I know toxic masculines out there, toxic masculine men out there would, you know, think, you know, to themselves like, you know, they might have thought that, you know, if they was witnessing this situation, they might have thought that I was weak because I ain't do nothing or say nothing. But whole time when you keep your composure like that, which y'all don't know, whole time when you keep your composure like that in a stressful situation, you stay calm, but that's the strongest thing that you could ever fucking do. It's the smartest thing you could ever do. You feel me? It took a lot of strength for me to stay calm in that situation, you know, because like I said, it could have turned out bad. Because see, let me tell y'all, he was fucking yelling and screaming and shit and just losing his shit, you know, lashing out, just verbally, you know, just popping off at the mouth pretty much. And just like how I was telling y'all in my last video, you know, on the last story time, how I pretty much stayed in that one spot and I stayed calm. That's pretty much what I did. I just stood in one spot the whole entire time. I was like, the whole entire time he was flipping out, I'm just in the same spot. Like, it really threw me for a loop, because I'm like, damn, bro, like, I did not expect him to do that. If I knew he was gonna do that, I probably would have just let him have the fucking thing, man. And I probably wouldn't even try to, you know, see if it was anything in it before I gave it to him. I probably would have just let him have it if I had known that was gonna happen, because that shit really threw me for a loop, y'all. I'm sitting there the whole time like mind blown, like, what the fuck? Like, what, bro, what is going on right now, bro? Shit, like, bro, chill, nigga, it's okay, bro. You know what I'm saying? Dude was going crazy. So, you know, it didn't last that long. The whole scene probably lasted like 5 minutes. So he flipped out for like 30 seconds, and he was like, kind of like a few times, or once or twice. He was either once or twice. He kind of like got up in my face. You know what I'm saying? Like, to try to like provoke me. You know, to try to provoke me to, you know, because I'm not in no fight or flight mode. If I was in fight or flight, him getting up in my face, I would have, you know what I'm saying? I would have, you know what I'm saying? Handed him 2 or 3 of them, you feel me? Real quick. You know, but I'm calm. I'm keeping my composure. It ain't a problem till somebody put their hands on you. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping he didn't do that. Because I ain't want to fuck dude up. But I would have gladly fucked him up if he had got physical. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, he had got up in my face a few times, like, you know what I'm saying? I want to, you know what I'm saying? He going crazy, like, you know, try to goddamn intimidate me. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to intimidate me the whole time. But I'm staying calm, y'all, cool, composed. You feel me? So, the first part of it, like I say, him fucking just losing his shit lasted like 30 seconds. So, after like 30 seconds, him and his girl went outside. They went outside, and like I say, this could have went a whole nother way, y'all. Cause y'all tell me why. As him and his girl was going outside, right? They went outside, and I went outside right behind them. They went outside to their car, and I went outside and just stood. Let me make sure I don't kill that spider. Step on my spider. And I just stood. I stood at the front door, on the front porch. You feel me? Right outside the front door. Y'all, right in that fucking moment, as I stepped out of the front door onto the front porch, the police was driving by. Y'all know ain't no such thing as coincidences. No such fucking thing. How the fuck, you know, in that moment, that very fucking moment, the police is driving by? It could have went a whole nother way, y'all. Just like the other night I was telling y'all, it could have went a whole nother way, but because I'm so fucking grounded and anchored in my breath, although I was high, I had been already meditating and doing breath work and connecting with nature and doing, you know, yoga, and I had already been doing these things for some time now, connecting with crystals, healing. I had already been doing this for some time now, which is why I didn't go the whole other way that it could have gone. So they outside whole time. They going crazy. They still fucking losing their shit out in the fucking front driveway as the police riding by. I'm still cool and calm. I'm just watching this whole shit go down. I'm like observing it. You know what I'm saying? I was so detached from it. You know, it was like I was looking down at myself, looking at them, like looking at the whole situation. You know, I wasn't even in it. I was just watching it. They still going crazy, right? Popping off at the mouth. Saying this, saying that, you know. I can't really recall anything that they were saying. I just know they was talking shit, you know. So that was fumbling around with things in they car. You know, in fight or flight. They don't know if they didn't know if they wanted to come or go. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know if they wanted to stay or leave. They just fucking you know, in fight or flight mode. Y'all know how I get. Well, for those of y'all that, you know anything about meth or have done it, or, you know anybody that would know anybody that did it and know how bad it can get, fight or flight mode and anxiety and all that shit is so much worse. It's way worse when you high on meth. So, like I said, they didn't know if that was coming or going. And at one point, y'all, it seemed like the girl was finna come and try to attack me. You feel me? At one point, you know, I'm reading body language. You know what I'm saying? So at one point, it seemed like she said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm finna go hit this motherfucker. I'm finna go sock this motherfucker. That's what her body was saying. I don't remember what she was saying, but I remember that's what, you know, her body was saying. Like, hold on, wait. Fuck this shit. I'm finna go hit him. I'm finna go, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna go, yeah. You know what I'm saying? She said, fuck it. Fuck all this talking. I'm just finna go, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna go run up on him. And in that fucking moment, when I seen her body, you know, language, you know, when I seen that transition from her just talking shit and just going crazy, and it seemed when she had turned towards me and was acting like she was getting ready to walk up on me, in that moment, she couldn't even take 2 steps. That first step, she could only take 1 step. And I kid y'all not, it's as if it was as if an invisible barrier stopped her right in her tracks. Cause she took that first step, and when she was finna take another one, boom, it was like a wall. It was like an invisible wall was there. Like, y'all know how people sometimes get ready to walk in buildings with glass doors and they don't see the door, so they might be holding a cup of coffee and then boom, they just collide into the fucking door, spilling their coffee. I know I wasn't fucking tripping. That's what I seen. Y'all, it was like her head had collided with an invisible barrier. Boom, and she had stumbled back. Y'all, it wasn't nothing there. It wasn't nothing there. I kid y'all not. This shit happened. I can't make this shit up. Y'all, I didn't know what to think. I'm still like, bro, I'm like, I didn't even react to that shit. Like, it happened so fast. I didn't even, like, I know what I seen, but in that moment, I didn't know what I seen. And, later on, hours after that whole situation had ended, I'm still thinking, like, bro, did I see what I think I seen? You know what I'm saying? And old girl, the girl I was visiting, my homegirl, she was right there watching the whole thing with me. She seen exactly what I seen. I'm later on that day, we talking about it like, damn, like, I know I wasn't tripping. You seen that too, right? Like, you seen that shit, right? That shit happened, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know I wasn't just in my head. I seen that shit with my own eyes, bro. You feel me? It was almost like my protection, bro. I'm telling y'all, that's why I say, like I told y'all in my last videos, even in the midst of an addiction to methamphetamine, I still was spiritually protected. I still, was connected to the divine, to the Most High. My angels and ancestors and guides and guardians was with me the whole time. The whole entire time. You feel me? That wasn't about to let them folk, you know what I'm saying? Cause I'm still like, bro, even though I was addicted to meth, like, I'm still a pure-hearted person at the end of the day. Like, I was still one of the most beautiful souls that you could ever possibly encounter. While high, nigga, while on meth. While high on meth. I didn't let that shit turn me cold. Like, don't get me wrong, there were times where I seen myself like slipping into a very, very dark hole, but I was still able to climb out of that shit. Like, I was on retention the whole time. I was on retention. Semen retention was already purifying me and bringing me back to my innocence and my pure essence. You know what I'm saying? And I'm working with crystals. I'm doing breath work. I'm meditating. I'm healing from past pain and trauma. You know what I'm saying? So all those things was counteracting the damage that meth was doing the whole time. So yeah, it could have went a whole nother way, y'all. It could have went a whole nother way. And for those of y'all that's, still here up until this very moment, 18 minutes later, I appreciate y'all for, staying tuned and listening and hearing me out, because I know a lot of y'all might not want to even hear stuff like this and watch videos like this, but I gotta do it. Like, I gotta tell my story, and there were times in the past before I officially went cold turkey that I really was contemplating not ever even talking about my addiction, but I have to, bro. I have to. It's therapeutic for me. I gotta talk about it. I can't just sweep it. I can't just sweep it under the rug and act like it never even fucking happened. Like, it's a part of my story. It's a part of my awakening journey. I can't talk about everything else that I be talking about without talking about my addiction too. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be all the way transparent. I can't just talk about spirituality and crystals and meditation and nature and shit like that and leave out the fact that I was addicted to meth and I overcame it. You know what I'm saying? But the whole time the reason why I didn't want to talk about it is because in those times I wasn't ready to stop. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't ready to stop. But now that I'm, now that I've decided to stop cold turkey for good, I can talk about it. And not hold nothing back. I know I might have been, stumbling over words and shit like that. Might have been stuttering and shit, but hey, it's still it's I see that as just the effects of meth just wearing off. You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of made me stumble and slur on my speech and shit. Because y'all know, for the ones that know, y'all know how that shit, make you it can make you talk too fucking fast. But like I said, if you stayed with me, I appreciate you for hearing me out. And goddamn, I can't make this shit up. That shit really happened, y'all. That shit really happened. That shit really happened. To this day, I'm already knowing what it was, but sometimes I still wonder, like wow, my angels and guides and guardians was on point. They was on point that day. For real, they was on point. Like, that girl literally, like, she fucking took a step and she couldn't take no more steps after that first one. She, boom. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me reenact this shit, y'all. Let me reenact this shit real quick. She was like, she was just talking shit. Like, her and her boyfriend was talking shit, right? They was at the car, fumbling around in the car. They was talking shit. They was like, and then she turned towards me. She, boom! Damn near fell on her ass, y'all. She might have fell back on her ass. As a matter of fact, I think she did. I think she fell. I think she busted her ass trying to run up on me. Boom, boom, man. I think she fell back on her ass, y'all. Now that I'm thinking about it, she hit the ground, man. What you get for fucking with a chosen one? I'm one of them ones, y'all. I might have been on that shit, but I'm one of them ones. That's a message for anybody out there that think they want to play with me. That think they, you know what I'm saying? Think you big, you think you big and bad? My ancestors will put you on your ass. Don't play with me. Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. And now, so, but, for the real ones, for the true guys and goddesses, man, y'all got that same protection over y'all. Even in your darkest days, even in your darkest moments, even through addiction, that shit ain't gonna stop nothing. You being addicted to a substance, that shit don't, like, on one side of the coin, it can fuck with your protection, and it can, like, dumb down or dim down your protection, but not completely. Not completely. You know what I'm saying? And that just goes to show. That's a true story. You feel me? Just because it shows, just because I was addicted to methamphetamine don't mean that, just because I had my battle with that drug don't mean that, like, the whole time, like, God wasn't with me. God was with me. And y'all, I don't go to church. I don't read no Bible. I don't go to no AA meetings, none of that shit. I'm spiritual. As a matter of fact, I ain't even spiritual. I don't even want to be classified as spiritual. Don't even put me in that category. I just am. I am that I am. I am everything and everything is me. Don't even put me in that spiritual box. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. But both of them stories is just testaments to, like, how powerful breathwork is. Because I stayed calm. I didn't fucking lose my shit like them characters did. The other story I was telling y'all last night, I didn't lose my shit and run out the house and run from the police thinking they was chasing me and was after me. I sat there and I surrendered. I stayed calm. I was kind of hoping old boy did try to touch me. I was kind of hoping he did, y'all, but I'm glad he didn't, though, because I ain't want to fuck dude up, bro. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, and then what's so crazy about it? Like I say, the police was pulling by. The police was driving by. As soon as I walked outside, if it had got ugly, it would have been self-defense. I'm defending myself. He the one lashed out at me. You know what I'm saying? But we probably would have both ended up going to jail. Who knows? But, I'm glad it didn't go that way, though. I'm glad it didn't go the other way. That it could have went. But it didn't go because I fucking stayed calm. So, with that being said, I'm pretty sure there's more stories like that I can tell y'all. But they're just not coming to mind right now, so, But like I say, I just tell y'all them stories to tell y'all, to just put the emphasis on how powerful doing breath work is, how powerful it is to meditate and stay centered and stay grounded. Because people can still, like, situations like this still can happen without meth in the equation. Situations like this happen every fucking day without meth in the equation. You know what I'm saying? But it's y'all should see, like, damn, like, how was he able to do that? And it's like 2 years into my addiction. It's 2 years into my addiction, y'all. I was, you know, if I had stayed on that shit any longer, if situations like that was to arise, it probably would have went the other way. You know. But it's because, like, man, it's look, I attribute all of this to all of my practices, y'all. Breathwork, meditation, doing yoga, doing qigong, you know, working with crystals, connecting with nature, you know, listening to frequency music, you know, binaural beats, meditation music, saying affirmations, like, all of that is what saved me at the end of the day. And healing, doing shadow work and shit like that. You know? So, yeah. Those are the reasons why. And them moments. Now, with that being said, I'm not perfect, y'all. I did have moments where I did actually flip out and lose my shit and fucking get baited into arguments and shit like that. You know? I did. So I'm not just trying to, you know, I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm just fucking perfect, you know? Like it didn't ever, like, you know, like I wasn't always, you know, it was moments like that where I was grounded and anchored in my breath, but there were moments where I wasn't. There were moments where I let people bait me into arguments and things of that nature, you know. But yeah. But this one of them times where, you know, I definitely yeah, I was, you know, above the situation, you know. I was definitely above the situation, you know. Like I say, I was detached. It was like I was watching this whole shit happen, you know. Just like the one I was telling y'all last night. I was so detached, like I was watching the whole fucking conflict in my mind happen. Like I wasn't even there, but I was there, but I wasn't though, you know. But yeah, with that being said, man, I don't want to hold y'all too much longer, man. So, you know, if I can think of more stories that I can tell y'all, because like I say, you know, I talk about how, you know, meth helped me, you know, and I talk about, you know, ways in which meth helped me. But, you know, I wanted to, you know, make sure I, you know, talk about times where, you know, it worked against me, you know. Just so y'all can know, like, hey, I'm not encouraging the usage of this shit. Disclaimer, I should have fucking did this at the beginning. Disclaimer, I'm not fucking encouraging the usage of methamphetamine. I don't encourage anybody to go try and do what I did. It might have worked out in the end for me, but that don't mean it's gonna work out for you like it worked out for me. You know what I'm saying? Even if you start meditating and doing breath work and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I encourage that's what I do encourage though, the meditation and the breath work. Because like I say, if you find yourself in a situation like that, where somebody flipping out on you, lashing out on you, you know, the breath work and staying calm and centered and composed, you know, staying grounded and, you know, staying level-headed, you know, situations like that, you know, where people trying to get you to fucking lash out and lose your fucking mind, you know, it's powerful, you know. The complete opposite is gonna happen. They gonna fucking lose they shit and get all riled up and fired up because you staying so fucking calm, you know. And I'm pretty sure like that's what made them even more angry with me. You feel me? The ones that tried to get at me, it made them more angry that I wasn't like going crazy like they was. I didn't say nothing. That the whole entire time, I didn't say nothing. While they popping off at the mouth, talking shit, acting like they want to do something to me. Something just told me, don't do nothing, don't say nothing. Just watch. Just watch. Just observe. You know what I'm saying? And that shit worked out for me in the end. Cause they didn't touch me and I ain't had to fuck nobody up. You know what I'm saying? My ancestors stepped in for me. Hey, shout out to my ancestors, man. Shout out to my ancestors, guys and guardians. But anyway, man, in the meantime, in between time, man, until we meet again, my friends, y'all be brilliant, be beautiful, be blissful, be bold. Let go of all the lies you've been told. And watch everything you touch slowly but surely turn to gold. And I will catch y'all on the next episode for sure. I love you, beautiful reflections. May you all have a beautiful day. Ashe, Namaste. Peace.